Today is Wednesday, February 5, 2025. This is the 6 p.m. edition of Kear Newsline. 45 minutes of the most recent news reporting about Liberia and the rest of our one world. I'm in the headlines. Center for Transparency and Accountability Center condemns government's resettlement of ex-Central Bank Governor Aloysius Talu. Center Executive Director Anderson Miami describes such decision as wasteful and gross disregard for the rule of law. Liberia National Police arrest and investigate additional two persons in connection to the December 18, 2025 Capitol building arson attack. Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Refugee Detachment arrests 51-year-old Nigerian national Edward Obi in possession of drug worth over 1,900 United States dollars. And away from Liberia, more than 100 female prisoners were raped and then buried alive during the jailbreak in the Congolese city of Goma, according to the UN. These plus our news bulletin, the voices of the newsmakers, details of this development, our package of West Jefferson, Weah, and the news bulletin. Good evening, Jefferson.
Good evening, Lee. Good evening, Liberia. Center for Accountability and Transparency in Liberia has described the government's resettlement of ex-central bank governor as a waste of taxpayers' money and blatant disregard for the rule of law. Addressing a press conference in Monrovia on Wednesday, Center Executive Director Anderson Miami frowned on President Weah for using over US $300,000 to settle the arrears of former central bank governor Aloysius Talu after the ex-CBL governor filed a lawsuit bordering his removal. He expressed dismay over the action of the Waikako's administration, terming it as business as usual. According to him, a president who promised to uphold the rule of law will not break the law to project his personal interest. Meanwhile, Center Executive Director criticized President Waka's inability to effectively address corruption and pressure government officials to declare their assets in line with the Code of Conduct. The Liberia National Police have arrested, charged, and investigated two additional suspects in the alleged Capitol building arson case, joining defendants Thomas Eldridge and Erich Sese for prosecution. The suspects, Jerry Poker alias Tariz and Kevin Barr alias Kaba, were sent to court on Wednesday, February 5, for the alleged crimes of arson, release of destructive forces, and reckless burning of explosives. They were also charged for criminal mischief, recklessly endangering another person, criminal conspiracy, and criminal solicitation. The On Wednesday, December 18, 2024, the Capitol building was set ablaze through a conspiracy allegedly orchestrated by defendants Jerry Poker alias Tariz and Kevin Barr alias Kaba, along with defendant Thomas Idris alias Tom, who is now before the court. The police investigation revealed that on December 18, 2024, at about 5:40 a.m., James Morba entered the Capitol building compound and began opening the doors between the east and north sides. While Morba was still opening the doors, the aforementioned defendants secretly entered the building, spilled gasoline on the third and fourth floors, and used matches to ignite the floors. However, police report that defendant Jerry Poker admitted to being part of a meeting to burn the Capitol building, which took place in Jalatown around the used cars parking lot. He stated that during the meeting, John Yanti gave him and Kelvin Barr 100 United States dollars. Officers of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Refugee County Detachment have executed a search warrant issued by the Weah County Magisterial Court. During the search, LDEA officers discovered 68.4 grams of kush in the possession of suspects Edward Obi, a 51-year-old Nigerian national, and his 37-year-old girlfriend, Evelyn To, a Liberian national. The LDEA release placed the street value of the seized drugs at US $1,915. Both suspects are currently in custody at the LDEA office in Riverview County and are undergoing further investigation while anticipating to be formally charged and transferred to court for prosecution. The victim of a house that caught fire in Broadview, District 17, has launched a passionate appeal to humanitarians to come to her aid. Speaking to reporters after the fire incident, Fatuma Saleh said when she woke up to conduct early morning prayers in the mosque, she called her children to accompany her, adding that they refused to attend to her call. Fatuma Saleh lamented that she told one of her sons of a smell of gasoline in their room, noting that she immediately woke them up to go to the mosque. Madame Saleh said after conducting her first prayer, one of her sons alerted her of their house being on fire, stressing that before she could make an attempt, the fire had taken over the entire house with her two children living in the fire. She at the same time accused some community dwellers of masterminding the cause of the fire. Meanwhile, the Liberia National Police has launched an investigation into the matter. Labour Minister Councillor Cooper Crow is urging companies to prioritize Liberians over foreign nationals for potential employment opportunities. According to Minister Crow, the Ministry of Labour will prioritize granting more Liberians work permit over the foreign national in an effort to promote national interest. He said when Liberians are prioritized and given employment opportunity, it promotes national interest and addresses the high rate of unemployment in the country. Minister Cooper Crow made these comments at an honoring ceremony organized by the Mothers of Tomorrow Liberia at the Ministry of Labor on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the Labor Minister has frowned on Liberian media institutions for not verifying and fact checking information before disseminating it to the public. Also speaking on behalf of the group, Madam Janet Kofa emphasized that the decision to honor Minister Cooper Cross stemmed from his tremendous work done over the years. Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister for International Cooperation and Economic Integration, Dr. Ibrahim Yen, says the government of Liberia is working to leverage its relationship with other countries to generate investment and economic opportunities for the country. According to Dr. Yen, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is keen to utilizing international relationships and bringing in investments opportunities for Liberians. He disclosed that President Weah has mandated the transformation of Liberia through private sector investment, adding that the establishment of bilateral relationships is key. Dr. Ibrahim made these comments in a radio interview in Monrovia Wednesday, commenting on the economic promotion week held in Morocco. Dr. Ibrahim noted that the partnership will provide opportunities and jobs for Liberians. Meanwhile, the Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister has revealed that the Moroccan trade mission is expected in Liberia to explode in mining and other sectors of the country. The Ministry of Public Works and Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation have embarked on a joint identification and demolition of structures built on public utilities along the Waterside, Ashmore Street, Gurney, Benson, and Center Streets areas. Addressing the media after the exercise, Public Works Minister Roland Giddens said the exercise is aimed at removing properties that are built on public utilities and give access to the public. According to him, the construction of private properties on public utilities has hindered the work of the Ministry of Public Works and the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, thus leading to underprivileged underdevelopment and public condemnation. Minister Giddens disclosed that the ministry will begin the demolition of the identified properties within 2 weeks. For his part, Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation Managing Director Mohammed Ali accused residents in the area of damaging LWSC pipes while building their properties on sewage lines. He wonders why Liberians in Monrovia were built on alleys and pathways and at the same time criticized national government for removing these structures to undertaking development. Sino County Health Officer Dr. John Yangrobi and team has intensified facility supervision and visitation in the hard-to-reach areas in the county. Dr. John has led a series of robust visit and supervision exercises at various health facilities, including those in the remote areas and hard-to-reach communities. A recent assessment took the health team to the Dr. Alexander Topa Clinic, located across the Sanquin River in Bofabe community, where access remains a major challenge due to its reliance on the Bafu River as the only transportation route. The county health team visit initiated discussion with residents to evaluate their health care needs and explore possible interventions. Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Women's Association wants Liberian women to get involved with aiding the security sector in combating crimes across the country. Speaking on our sisters program, Women's Impact, the association's vice president, Madam Weah underscored the importance of women's involvement in contributing to national security. According to her, such move will create jobs opportunity and reduce the alarming rate of insecurity across the country. Madam Weller Brooklyn, however, emphasized the importance of women in leadership, noting that such signals a better leadership style. She at the same time urged women across the country to take advantage of the security sector and ensure citizens are protected. The African Women for Jesus to All Nations has announced the launch of the 2025 Tsunami event. According to the movement's chairperson, the tsunami is aimed at bringing women from across Liberia together to pray for the betterment of the nation. Speaking to the press on Wednesday, the movement's chairperson, Dr. Matilda Tarr, stated that the 2025 tsunami is a declaration that Liberia belongs to Jesus Christ. She called on Liberian women to join the movement in praying, noting that prayer should not only be sought in times of disaster. Dr. Matilda expressed her belief that Liberian women have the power to transform the nation through prayers. She also extended an invitation to government officials, pastors, and community dwellers to form part of the 2025 tsunami. The event is scheduled for March 28 to 29 at the Samuel Kayado Sports Complex. The Bureau of State Enterprises, in collaboration with the European Union, is set to host a high-level technical budget meeting on Thursday, February 6, 2025, at the Bureau's headquarters in Monrovia. The meeting will bring together key stakeholders, including the Ministry of Finance, the Liberia Revenue Authority, and the state-owned enterprises. The aim is to discuss the fiscal framework and accountability mechanisms under the EU budget support program for the government of Liberia. Over the past few years, the government of Liberia has worked closely with the EU to strengthen economic governance, with a strong emphasis on mobilizing domestic resources through SOEs. As part of its partnership, the Bureau of State Enterprises, Ministries of Finance, and the EU have established key performance indicators linking core tax remittances by SOEs to the disbursement of EU budget support. The discussion, which is slated for Thursday, will focus on sanitizing key performance indicators to ensure effective tax contributions from SOEs, including withholding taxes, corporate income taxes, goods and service taxes. In a release issued in Monrovia on Wednesday, the Bureau of State Enterprises Director General Arthur Masakwe reaffirmed the Bureau's unwavering commitment to integrity, accountability, and transparency in overseeing SOE's compliance with budget support conditions, among others. And Nimba County District 5 Representative Samuel Koga has rejoined the movement for democracy and reconstruction ahead of Nimba County senatorial by-election. Speaking at the rejoining ceremony, Representative Koga noted that his decision to join the party is in an attempt to fulfill the wish of the fallen Nimba County Senator Prince Johnson. He stressed that his decision to join the party is not predicated upon power struggle, but to ensure that the MDR remains vibrant. At the same time, the Nimba County lawmaker has declared his intention to contest as a candidate in the pending by-election. Representative Samuel Koga called on constituents to rally support to ensure his victory, adding that the legacy of the late Senator Prince Johnson must continue. He further urged partisans and stakeholders to remain united for the common good of the county and its people. Well, Lee, those were the latest from the news center, and it's back to you for continuation.
Jefferson, we are on for bulletin of news from the news center. The news bulletin is a regular feature of Kear Newsline. One of the big stories we are following tonight, Liberia National Police arrest and investigate additional two suspects in connection to the December 18 Capitol building arson attack. With that, we take our first development. Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia has described government resettlement of ex-central bank governor as a waste of taxpayers' money and blatant disregard for the rule of law. Addressing the press conference in Monrovia Wednesday, Center Executive Director Anderson Miami front on President Joseph Boakai for using over US 300,000 to settle the arrears of former Central Bank Governor Aloysius Talu after the ex-Central Bank Governor filed a lawsuit ordering his removal.
With just over a year in office, the writings on the wall are becoming clearer regarding the president's delivery on his promises. The rule of law hangs in the balance as 10 officials have been removed contrary to law and replaced by partisans and officials of the Boakai administration. A president who promised to uphold the rule of law will not go to any length to break the law. Recent revelations to Mr. Aloysius Tali, the ex-wife governor of the Central Bank of Liberia, a settlement regarding a lawsuit bordering on his removal, raising during a different Liberia where there is no more business as usual. With a reason for Tali's suspension ostensibly linked to the outcome of an audit conducted by the Central Bank of Liberia. We now wonder whether the alleged conduct of Salu was not the basis of his suspension but simply a ploy to circumvent the law in favor of President Boakai and his team. Moreover, we are shocked that the president, that the Boakai administration elected to spend nearly $500,000 US of the Liberian people's money to facilitate the removal of tariffs. We are not remain of the fact that the Boakai administration potentially executed many of such agreements to the tune of millions of dollars. And since it is now clear that these agreements are signed on a strict terms of confidentiality, the Liberian people will truly never get to know how much the administration is dishing out to people illegally removed in favor of the Boakai appointees. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, in the midst of high levels of poverty and of the children of development need. Top dollars of Liberians have largely.
Meanwhile, the Senate executive director has criticized President Joseph Boakai. Meanwhile, Senate executive director and Simiame has criticized President Joseph Boakai's inability to effectively address corruption and pressure government officials to declare their assets in line with the code of conduct. We sincerely apologize that clip is not yet ready. The Ministry of Public Works and the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation have embarked on the joint identification and demolition of structures built on public utilities along the waterside at Mon Street, Getty Street, and Benson Street intersections. Addressing the media after the exercise, Public Works Minister Roden Gideon said the exercise is aimed at removing properties that are built on public utilities and give access to the public.
The end user system. So now it's able to sort of operation format, being able to access it. You look at the street, you see all the feces in the street, you think you're not working. What we do one side, another one, think, oh, because all the just sitting by the staff, what's going on? So the proper construction statements that is better than constructing, you can work that and it should be constructed in the right places. So we agreed to allow the fee to identify. Of course, we also went ahead and identified places where the facility was being repeated by those construction, illegal construction. And so we're on the fee to identify and join picture back and bring it. And let me say that within 1 to 2 weeks, we'll be doing demolition and second demolition of all those places where we identify properties built on the sewer system or on the electricity or even on our drainage system. Because what we realized during the exercise that even some of our drainage system has been built up on us. So this is it's a good exercise and we're not turning our back. We want to make sure we get that done. Oh no, let me say this. If you build illegal in the place that you should be built, in the right of way, for example, in the easement space, because these public facilities will demolish the property will actively you are dying. You're not entitled to anything because first you should not be there. So you don't bring to be there. No one will say, oh, you know, government's not coming. It's exactly what we're doing with the islands. You know, oh no, government's not gonna come now. If they're opening up islands, we have no islands to open up, we have railroad to open up, clear structures that in the places that shouldn't be and you know, working with boats, it's very, interesting and exciting. We come along and we're yet to sell. So collaborating, I think it's on.
For his part, Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation Managing Director Mohammed Ali accused residents of the area of damaging LWSC pipes while building on properties on the sewage line. He wonders why Liberians in Monrovia will build on alleys and pathways at the same time criticizing national government for removing these structures to undermine national development.
I am happy that he and I can collaborate to work on these things because we understand that the president appointed us to make this country better. Where the problem lies is with the people themselves. You are in a few reports, you will see they know very well that they are on the sewage line. They will be telling you, oh, this is the sewage line, this is the water line. But they construct on it. You saw the other place on, was it Benson Street there? Those guys are telling, oh, this is the line. We ourselves need cleaning area. If I would close it because we give trouble. Back there, they took off the pipes, the sewage pipe, and then we left the inside out. Once that place is done, that section of Benson and Central Street is never going to get there. The same thing with Delhi and Benson Street. We saw what's happening there. And public works is the entity that has the statutory responsibility to first solve the problem. In fact, the sewage flowing out there is just the symptom of the problem. The real problem is accessing the sewage line, accessing the we all sit, not only this government, previous government, we all been with government. And then you want to do it, maybe also governments have been in it because every time the marketplaces they don't break it down. You hear somebody saying, oh, you know, our government official person through you're not serious, they'll not do it. And every time they come to market, they know they are not supposed to be there, but they do on the tractor.
Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation Managing Director Mohamed Ali releasing to Ministry of Public Works Minister Ruben Lafayette Giddings. The call for women participation within the security sector has been echoed by the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Women's Association. The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Women's Association emphasized the importance of women in the security sector. Speaking on our sisters program, Women's Impact, on Wednesday, the association vice president, Madam Weah underscored the importance of women's involvement in contributing to national security.
Those who are aspiring to join the profession and those fears stem from systematic institutional barriers that have been imposed on we women. Yeah, but what I can say is that every woman in law enforcement, you have to significant impact within the system. Working together, collaborating, building up yourself professionally, seeking out as a male counterpart. The thing is that we women, there are a lot of women who have come before us, and even we who are now on the landscape, we are working to prove that physical strength is no longer a prerequisite for excelling in leadership roles within law enforcement. Emotional intelligence with contemporary policing plays a very vital role. So we want to encourage women out there to do away with that old information that law enforcement is a man's thing that I'm a woman, I cannot do it. Yeah, and they will have all of the confidence that he's physically fit to carry on that operation. He can do it. We believe in his potential to perform. He's going to bring the best results. But if it is a woman, it's under, it's just under the microscope. Yeah. At some point, even before you can take any challenge, they're going to ask you, how are you going to do it? They want to. So, they are under the scrutiny. And surprisingly, peer competition, women competing with women each other instead of collaborating. That's all it's about real contact. So prove that look, we women, as we push for gender equity, we are prepared, we are capable, we are able to take on the job for which so that's a serious challenge in addition to those other challenges that we really face in the future. But what I can say is, women we have all of what it takes to be an officer. There's nothing to be afraid.
Weah Brooklyn is the vice president for Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Women's Association. You are listening to the Wednesday, February 5, 2025, 6 p.m. edition of Kear Newsline. This is the 45 minutes news production from the News and Current Affairs Department here at Kear Communications Network. I'm Lee Monjue in the presenters chair. Big stories top in the news. Center for Transparency and Accountability condemns government resettlement of ex-Central Bank Governor Aloysius Talu. Central Executive Director Anderson Miami describes such decision as wasteful and gross disregard for the rule of law. Liberia National Police arrest and investigate additional two suspects in connection to the December 18 Capitol building arson attack. Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency River G Detachment arrest 51-year-old Nigerian national Edward Obi in possession of drug worth over 1,900 United States dollars. And away from Liberia, more than 100 female prisoners were raped and then buried alive during a jailbreak in the Congolese city of Goma, according to the United Nations. We'll take another break to be back with more developments. Many thanks for rejoining this. Labour Minister Cooper Cry is urging companies to prioritize Liberians over foreign nationals for potential employment opportunities. According to Minister Crowd, the Ministry of Labour will prioritize granting more Liberians work permit over foreign nationals in an effort to promote national interest. Minister Cooper Cry made the comments at an honoring ceremony organized by the Mothers of Tomorrow Liberia at the Ministry of Labor on Wednesday.
I'm always saying, look, whatever we do here, we stand for and on behalf of the president. If we were doing something good here, it's the president who is doing it. If we go off the track, it means we are embarrassing the president. So we are doing everything to make sure that we maintain the confidence the president forcing us. That's why we're doing everything we can to restore some of the programs that this ministry in the past used to have. For example, the vacation student program. Last year we started it, this year will be better. And we are also looking forward to doing more Nigerians on the job. That's why we have become very technical in granting grant to foreigners. We think it's in the interest, we only give work permit only if there is no qualified Liberian for that job. We owe it to our country, we owe it to our people. That's what we do. And sometimes, when people are focused doing the people's work, you got distractions outside there. For example, I think about a week ago, the police arrested somebody from 4 years ago. The person must have committed a crime 4 years ago. Something that this ministry has nothing to do or have no reason to know it. Because when people are looking for a job, it's never written on their face to say, well, 4 years ago I did something bad or the police were investigating me. But sometimes other people use those instances to say things that they do not know about others.
Also speaking on behalf of the group, Madam Jenny Kofa emphasized that the decision to honor Minister Cooper Cross stemmed from extramuros work done over the years.
The president of Mothers of the Honorable Councillor Cooper W. Craft, I salute you. For your good hard work, we have been following you for this while. The organization was founded in 1990, Mother of Tomorrow. And it is you that then behind us. And we are grateful today for you doing the labor of us and our sisters that try to bring them back. And I would say sisters from the free time and brought them back and sent them back home for your good work. While you are alive, we are giving the flower. In Jesus' name.
Madam Jenny Cooper there speaking on behalf of a group named Mothers of Tomorrow Liberia in relation to Labour Minister Councillor Cooper Crow. Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister for International Cooperation and Economic Integration, Dr. Abraham Yen says the government of Liberia is working to leverage relationship with other countries to generate investment and economic opportunities for the country. It disclosed that President Weah has mandated the transformation of Liberia through private sector investment, adding that the establishment of a bilateral relationship is key. Dr. Ibrahim Yen made the comments in a radio interview in Monrovia Wednesday.
It's not just focusing on Morocco. We have an objective, and that objective is to leverage our political relationship to generate investment and economic opportunities for our country. So it's not about Morocco, it's about this objective. And we've seen Morocco as a potential partner in this. So we've identified several countries, and Morocco is just one of them. And so we are trying to leverage that political relationship with Morocco to generate through the economic diplomacy agenda of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Cyril Beslo Nyanti, who thinks that the ministry should deliver both on its political responsibility of building relationship with other countries, but most importantly, in this age of development cooperation, the ministry should use its foreign policy as to generate economic opportunities for the country. And so she's very focused on that agenda. Where we have embassies, it's not just about the embassy sitting there to represent the country anymore, just to represent the country. It's about the embassy sitting there want to represent the country to attract people from the country they are in to Liberia. We are talking about investors, we are talking about tourists. So that is the clear mandate we have got from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And so my department responsible for international cooperation and economic integration, we are working to just deliver on her mandate, which she received from the President.
Meanwhile, commenting on the Economic Promotion Week held in Morocco, Dr. Yen noted that the partnership will provide opportunities and jobs for Liberians.
In the middle part of last year, 2024, we endorsed several agreements at the technical meeting between Liberian experts and Moroccan experts. And fortunately for us, our ministers of foreign affairs signed these agreements on the 17th of January. Among those agreements was an agreement on trade and investment cooperation between Liberia and Morocco. And so implementing that agreement, one of the activities of that agreement is to establish economic and trade cooperation between the two countries practically. That means to find investment opportunities in Liberia for Moroccan businesses and find investment opportunities in Morocco for Liberian businesses. It could be Liberia farm produce, coffee, cocoa, rubber, or even manufacturers that the Moroccans may need. But how do you do this? This should be a private sector, state-owned enterprise initiative. So the Economic Promotion Week, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Liberia, Madam Cyril Beslo Nyanti, asked the Moroccans that we have to move this process forward because my country now, we need more investment, we need more jobs, we are desperate. And so when she asked the Moroccan Foreign Minister, how do we start the implementation, particularly of this economic cooperation agreement, this trade and investment cooperation?
Dr. Ibrahim Yen is Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister for International Cooperation and Economic Integration. Following the barely 2 months after the death of Nimba County Senator Prince Johnson, Nimba County District 5 Representative Samuel Kogas rejoined the movement for democracy and reconstruction ahead of Nimba County senatorial by-election. Speaking at the joining ceremony, Representative Koga noted that his decision to join the party is in an attempt to fulfill the wish of the former Nimba County Senator Prince Johnson. He underscored that his decision to join the party is not predicated upon power struggle, but to ensure that the MDR remains vibrant.
Let me make it categorically clear. I am not joining MDR because Senator Johnson is dead. I am joining MDR because Senator Johnson left her life better into this party. In life, they actually they call it hell. Somebody have many children. You got more properties. When you're about to die, or you know that tomorrow anything can happen, you can read a will. Senator Johnson invitation to me to join the party is considered as a way and of fulfilling. Where to fight anybody for position for the right to be done. Nobody should feel a pastor. If you say Samuel Kola he belongs to the position, respect him. No one making of any party that you overshadow your friend. I will oppose to me. I'm clear. I'm saying it so that everybody will understand. They can bring misery, they can bring dissatisfaction among partisans. county officials have the prerogative to ensure that whosoever that will contest from the county will not from the county. Every political party is government in waiting.
At the same time, the Nimba County lawmaker has declared his intention to contest as a candidate in the pending by-election in Nimba County.
Mr. Chairman, we are encouraging our partisans that let the party, let the Gompu, Tagon, Gompu, let the Tagon, Daresi Jada Yelu, and the next go on. Besides that, we want to start off people that love you. We want to build a party in unison. Not everybody will contest. But support your political opinion. Please allow somebody to come back. The chairman, you have a big platform. Because the people are going to, the catfish are going to be in our river. That's small one. When they're hungry, they can follow each other. That's what I'm telling you. Because the battle have begun. If we say we're preparing for leadership of the country, we will show to the Liberian people that we are serious. Why it is true that we are anticipating the announcement, the pronouncement, or the declaration by the National Election Commission to officially open the election for the power election in Nimba County.
Controversial Nimba County District 5 Representative Sam Yakuba. Today's development, the vetting of a house that caught fire in Bravo District 17 has launched a passionate appeal to humanitarians to come to aid. Here is Fatu Marsalis explaining what would due to journalists on Wednesday. We sincerely apologize. Fatu Marsalis clip is not yet ready. In foreign news, more than 100 female prisoners were raped and then buried alive during a jailbreak in the Congolese city of Goma, according to the United Nations. Hundreds of prisoners broke out of Muzinzi prison last Monday after fighters from the M23 rebel group began to take over the city. Between 165 and 167 women were assaulted by male inmates during the jailbreak, an internal UN document seen by the BBC says. The report states that most of the women were killed after the inmates set fire on the prison. The BBC has not been able to verify the report. That's the foreign news. Well, listeners, on that foreign notice, I would like to draw down the curtains of today's Wednesday, February 5, 2025, 6 p.m. edition of Kear Newsline. This has been the joint effort of the News and Current Affairs Department here at Kear Communications Network. Many thanks to all of our reporters, contributors, editors who have been making this edition of the program a success. Many thanks to Jefferson, Weah, who brought forth a full bulletin of national news. George Weah ensured our visibility goes beyond the studio. Many thanks to Calvin Gray, who sat at control and handled the technical aspects. Before we take a leave, a relook of our headlines. Center for Transparency and Accountability condemns government resettlement of ex-Central Bank Governor Aloysius Tadu. Central Executive Director Anderson Miami describes such decision as wasteful and gross disregard for the rule of law. Liberia National Police arrest and investigate additional two suspects in connection to the December 18, 2025 Capitol building arson attack. Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Refugee Detachment arrests 51-year-old Nigerian national Edward Obi in possession of drug worth over 1,900 United States dollars. Away from Liberia, more than 100 female prisoners were raped and then buried alive during a jailbreak in the Congolese city of Goma, according to the UN. These plus more developments will brought you for more news. Join the station at 6 a.m. tomorrow, at which time Kear News Run will return more captivating story. I'm Monjue are packaged and presented. Good night.